Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I just want to preface this with this is just a test recording. I wanted to see how this turned out. This is just some feedback you guys have provided for my last little test. So this is going to be a full video, and this is actually against the AI from Heroes of the Aturi cluster. There is an app on Android and I believe iOS. I'm using the Android app on the tablet, and to be honest with you, there's a few times I used it wrong. You're supposed to look at target priorities and look at who the target should be when you're moving, who the target should be when you're attacking, and I don't remember all that. And to be frank, I didn't really care. I was just trying to do a full-length game to see how long a recording would be and to see, excuse me, how it would turn out. I also messed up some cloaking, rather decloaking. So there's a few spots here where I'm using echo and I forget to decloak. For the sake of this just being a test game, I just did it anyways before I moved. There's one or two spots where I didn't do that just because I had already moved a bunch of ships and it would have messed up target priority for their moving. But it is what it is. So I'm just doing recording over again for this game. I'm gonna kind of provide some commentary here once we get closer into the game, and as you just saw right there, this is a sloppy game. I didn't mark a lot of things off like I should have, or I would have done in a regular game, so keep that in mind. Again, before you critique how sloppy I am, I completely agree. Very sloppy game. I also don't play Imperials normally, so a little bit, but not enough to actually play this list effectively. So, tell me how much I suck with that, I guess. I failed the barrel roll right there. Didn't think I could make it, but I figured I'd try it anyways with Vader. Again, so the AI for this app that I'm using is a little bit wonky. It has like a check system. You kind of put in what direction your closest opponent is, or what you should have your target, and then you put the range, and then whether they're approaching or fleeing, and that's supposed to give a maneuver that you're supposed to use with the A-wing or the VCX. So you're not going to see any barrel rolling or boosting from the A-wings. So if the rebels are doing some weird stuff, that's why. It's all AI movement. And if you see the Imperials doing some weird things, that's just me being bad. That's also why you're not going to see dials for the rebels. It's, again, all handled through the app. And I think you're supposed to keep track of stressful maneuvers, but unfortunately I didn't. There's a few maneuvers that I knew were stressful, and I know the A-wing dial kind of well enough for removing stress and strain that I kind of looked at it when I remember to, but otherwise I didn't really care too much. So yeah, with all that out of the way, let's kind of get into this. The ships are moving closer, and the camera did rotate here. I don't have a great tripod. I just bought something cheap just to see if it would work, and for all intents and purposes it does work. I just need to get a new phone clamp. So man, that is really rotating more than I thought it would rotate. But yeah, so we have Vader here. He goes in. He ends up doing the barrel roll just to make sure he can get out of range. So no shots for Sunterfell or Echo, so the VCX is taking a shot on Whisper. Whisper ends up losing 2 shield here. I believe it was a hit crit or 2 hits. Doesn't really matter, just goes straight to the shields. And we're seeing a shot from the blue A-wing, no hit. And there's a couple times I didn't stop the pause timer. I had to walk away for a second. So in the grand scheme of things, it was less than a minute, not a big deal. So when I was looking at this here, I was thinking, I was actually unsure about how the A-wings were going to come in here. I kind of thought that they were going to start swooping in to the right, and they kind of do that. You'll see that coming up here. Yep, and here's the 2 hard from 1 A-wing, and I should have removed that strain there, but again, I wasn't paying that much attention. I was just trying to get, a game done, essentially. And there are definitely some times here where I bumped. I did some bad bumping, and I kind of went with it. just kind of scooch stuff out of the way in the last movements. And this is actually one of the times where I messed up my priority here because I forgot the decloak, and I remembered it. So I really wanted to do this decloak, and I actually messed up the echo thing. So I backed up the VCX. Once I remembered, hey, Echo's supposed to do this with a 2-bank, I just said forget it. I didn't want to go back and deal with it. So again, one of the times I messed up there, but I barrel rolled Echo, hopefully to get Echo in a better position for the next turn. Soontir was in a bad spot there, so of course I had to barrel roll and then do a red boost, make sure I got out of arc that VCX, because that would have been a nasty 5-die shot. And Vader's still just sitting there and moseying along. And again, this is another area where I do believe I kind of messed up priority, because I think it's supposed to go closest, not necessarily closest in your arc. But again, I could be wrong. I didn't care to double check that. So kind of looking at this, I'm just kind of rotating the Phantom and my Interceptor around to the outside to get behind the A-Wings, and just letting him go for Vader at this point. So at this point, I'm just trying to get Vader to safety. So kind of expect to see all these A-Wings swoop in, just like we did. Another 3-bank from another A-Wing. And we're going to end up bumping with this A-Wing. And again, terrible. Ended up going at an angle and probably shouldn't have. And then another straight from another A-Wing. And I believe he got a target lock there. That's right. He did get a target lock. So we've got 2 target locks on Vader. And then I messed up that originally. I don't remember how I messed it up, but yeah, definitely should have gone too hard, which the VCX did end up doing it too hard, and then bumped Soontir. That was another time I forgot to do the bendy. Sorry, Ron, not bendy. The bank. So I just did it. That way I could do what I was originally thinking here. So. And Vader spends his last afterburners, hopefully to get out of range. Soontir comes around, gets out of range of the VCX, then barrel rolls right, hopefully to get a shot on one of the A-Wings, and he does. So he nips a corner right there on the blue A-Wing for looks like a hit crit, and hit, and nope, just hit. 3 hits. Good setup for the next turn after that. And A-Wings do have a shot. One shoots. It was 2 hits, but Vader gets 2 evades. Another A-Wing has another range 3 shot. 1 hit. Vader easily evades that. No issues. Alright, so we have A-Wing 3-bank. Closing in on Vader. We have another A-Wing doing a 2 straight. Just grabbing that focus, because again, the checklist for how things work. If you have a shot and you are not in range, take a target lock. Vader already had a target lock. I wasn't going to give him, I wasn't going to relock, so they just get focuses at that point because they have a shot on Vader when they moved. And then we see 2 bumps from one of the green and the red A-Wing, so they get no action. The VCX goes in with the 2 hard, gets a focus. And again, one of the times I forgot to do Echo's decloak, so I just did it anyways because this is what I was doing. Echo comes in, it does a barrel roll to get the easy range 1. Then Soontir with the 2 hard, has a bullseye shot, ends up doing a target lock and a boost. Failing the boost though, should have just gone straight. And I didn't stress Soontir. I see that now, I should have. Vader using his last afterburners. I think I said last afterburners before. That was the first afterburners. This was the second afterburners. Then barrel rolls behind that cloud for some extra safety if he would have been in any arcs. But barrel rolling safely got him out of arcs. So Soontir going in on the blue A-wing. The blue A-wing is toast, gets 3 hits with only 1 evade. Sorry, 2 evades. Whisper attacking one of the A-wings and did not get a hit. No shots for the A-wings, no shots for the VCX. I know you guys can kind of easily see this, but this is just a little bit of practice and a little bit of, if this is something you guys want to see, I'm going to try to do this again when I go to the store. And I was supposed to record a store game, but some things happened when I went to the store to play. We won't get into it. It wasn't bad or anything. It was just some things happened. It just wasn't as... Things didn't work out the way they should have worked out. So, next time, definitely. We have a sloop coming in from one of the green A-wings, a 5K from the red A-wing, then a 2 boost in from the other green A-wing, so I messed that up there. So that was one of the moments where I decided not to do the decloaking from Echo because it would have messed up the target priority, so I just took the bump. And I also forgot to move the VCX. So there's the VCX. And then Soontir moves. Again, the game itself is not important. This is just 100% practice here. Just to get a game on and to see if this was an enjoyable experience, or could be a potentially enjoyable experience for everyone. Vader turns in the barrel rolls, hopefully to get set up for a next turn. Soontir attacking, I believe it's the red A-wing. Ends up getting 3 hits. Sorry, 2 hits and a crit. I believe that was damage sensor array. And then all 3 A-wings attack here, and Soontir masterfully dodges all shots. And Vader does actually get a shot here on the VCX, and just to kind of show what we're doing here, so in the bottom right corner, you see it's just a Lothal Rebel. And then I fit 4 Phoenix Squadron A-Wings in with that, with Prockets. And hindsight, Prockets against an ace list, especially when they're not going to boost, probably not a good thing to play against the AI, because it's just not going to work out that well. So here I remembered to do Echo's bendy decloak. So the A-wing bumps. Then the other green A-wing goes in, takes the evade because he has no shot. The red A-wing ends up doing a 2 hard and bumps into one of the green A-wings. And we have the VCX. Or did I forget? Nope, I got the VCX again. Okay, so he goes over Gas Cloud. He does get a strain. Then Echo does a 3 hard. Trying to figure out if I want to do the barrel roll. I do. Maybe. No. Focus. Alright, and now I'm going to mark a bunch of ships just to try to do this too hard for Soontir. Then I realize Soontir doesn't fit. Gotta go back, undo it all, put everything back. Great position for Soontir. In this case, he's only getting shot by the 1 A-wing, but that 1 A-wing, I believe, has 3 damage done to it already. So 1 good shot from Soontir, and also a backup shot from Echo. So Soontir does get the free focus, and it gets 1 crit through. And I had forgot to move Vader, so I moved Vader. So Soontir eliminates the only threat against him. Vader does a 2 in or a 3 in, kind of missed that, and barrel rolls to get an unobstructed shot on the Lothal Rebel. Gets 3 hits on Lothal Rebel. Still not enough for half because that thing is a tank. Echo gets some shots in on the A-wing. Not quite enough for half points though. No shots from the A-wing, and the timer goes off in this round, but the Lothal Rebel does get a shot on Echo with damage done. Well, alright guys, that concludes the video. If you can, please leave me some feedback, what you think went well, what didn't go well. I'm going to mess around with an overlay a little bit, see if I can't get the overlay to work. I attempted to in an earlier test, it just didn't work out. We'll see if it works out. If it's something that works well and it's easy enough to implement, I'll do it in the future. Thanks again for watching.